I'm Rob. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person to help remember Coz, but I wanted to send along a memory that I'll always treasure. Um, the first time I met Coz, it was between our sophomore and junior year of college in the very early days of the band, and we got hired to play at Andrew Green Tie's high school for a event called the Pingree High School Spring Fling. And we drove from Ann Arbor 10 hours to New Jersey and performed for a bunch of high school kids and one other person. We actually had a fan. It was the first time anyone outside of the student body of the University of Michigan had driven to show up to a show and knew our songs and was excited to see us. And I can't overstate the encouragement and inspiration that provided us. To think that someone actually liked us enough to show up to a show, it really kept us going and legitimized what we were trying to do. And that was just the first of innumerable times that Coz did that for us. Coz was and truly was an inspiration for the band, and we're incredibly grateful for all of the passion, effort, and warmth that he put into the world, especially the Tally Hall community. So I am remembering him today and thinking fondly of all the great things he did and the great man that he was.
I wish I had the opportunity to get to know Coz better than I did. He seemed like a really genuine guy, a really giving human. I think one of the things that in retrospect now, sort of thinking about it, I'm always sort of impressed with is his dedication towards something he really believed in. I mean, he really committed to something that he found to be, his passion, something he was interested in. And he really put a lot of effort into it. And, I think we were really lucky to have gotten to know Coz, and for his, what he did to have sort of helped us and validate, what we did as a musical group. So, and again, just to have that quality as a person to believe in something when, the folks around you don't, and to really put your effort and time into that path that you're carving for yourself, as opposed to just sort of following, what everyone else was doing. So, really saddened to hear about Coz's passing, and my thoughts are with his family and friends.
Hey, this is Andrew from Tally Hall. What is there to say about Coz? There's a lot to say about Coz. I feel like the most important thing when I think of Coz is he wasn't just a fan. He was more a member of our community and a member of the band in a sense. I think was directly responsible for a lot of people hearing our music. He, before anyone really cared what we were doing, Coz took a liking to us, and like other musicians that he also seemed to promote to some extent, he put everything behind it and championed the sounds he believed in. Over time, it was really a pleasure to get to know him. He was always dedicated and loyal, and had a good kind of grasp on what was going on in the community, in the Tally Hall community, which was super valuable. Yeah, we'll miss him. I got to spend a little time with him towards the end of his life, and he never really seemed down or sorry for himself. He was accepting of where he was, and just a really genuine, loving spirit. We'll miss him, and I'll always remember him as a part of Tally Hall.
One thing that always struck me about Coz was his dedication and passion for things that he cared about. One of those things being, of course, the music of our band Tally Hall. He built hiddeninthesand.com, which has always been from its inception the definitive place for all of our fans to create a community, to meet one another online, to share stories and pictures, footage from concerts, meet one another at concerts. And he did this when we really didn't have that many fans. I mean, he built a resource with great passion. It was like so incredible to see, and yet there seemed like there weren't even that many people using it. But, you know, even after we finished touring and recording music for a while, and it seemed like things had hit their limit, he still stayed dedicated. He still built out the site and maintained it and added features and stories. And it was amazing to see, as our fan base actually grew kind of out of nowhere the last few years, that there had been this amazing home he built that finally more and more people were coming to. And it was just so amazing to see, you know, that his passion was now being shared and appreciated by so many. And on top of that, he was just a phenomenal person to know. I loved catching up with him whenever we could, whether it was shows in town or even after we finished touring, and just keeping in touch with one another and sharing stories from our lives. He'll definitely be missed, and his memory, though, will be a blessing to me in my life, and I'm sure the lives of everyone here as well.